Pops,
Yes.
let's kick things off with the brands that have seen their prices increase the most so far this year. How's that sound?
You know, I've been waiting all day for this.
All right. So earlier this morning, I actually went through and I consolidated all this data. This again comes from our friends over at Four Eyes. You need me to make it bigger for you, Dad?
Well, only if you'd like me to be able to read it. Yes, there you go.
I would appreciate that. So,
Yeah.
Pops, what I've done here is I've taken from Four Eyes again, I've
Yes.
taken the data and put it into 4 different segments. So, brands that have increased the most year over year in terms of price, brands that have
Yes.
increased the least for new cars, and both of those are for new cars. So, increased most for new cars, increased least for new cars, and the same for used cars. Increased most for used cars, increased the most for used cars. Or the least for used cars. Wow, that is complex. Not really.
You're struggling. Aren't you the one that wrote this?
Yeah, buddy.
All right. So brands that have increased the most in terms of price for new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Did you have a chance to look at this data, Dad? Chevrolet increased in price year over year by 39%.
Yes, which I find fascinating because, well, Chevrolet is supposed to be their General Motors least expensive entry level car brand, and so if their prices have gone up 39%, A, they would no longer be entry level, and B, they're probably no longer the least expensive.
Then Jeeps have gone up 35% year over year. Dodge up 33.3%. So again, the data here, just to make sure everyone has clarity, this is saying the vehicles that were for sale, new vehicles, new Chevys, new Jeeps, new Dodges, this time last year, 1 year ago, were 33, 35, and 39% less expensive than they currently are on the market today.
Now, and to be fair, a lot of that would have to do with the lack of incentives that are being offered on those vehicles today as compared to what the incentives might have been a year ago. Because a year ago, I believe manufacturers and dealerships were still operating under the old business philosophies of you try to have a lot of vehicles on the lot and you try to incentivize the sales of those vehicles. And as inventory has waned and become shortened, the dearth of inventory, that they're spending a lot less in incentives. So that could be one of the reasons why the prices are higher than they were last year. The prices that people are actually paying.
Got it. And yeah, I actually have data on that, Pops, because that's how good I am.
You are full of data.
So if you scroll down to the bottom of our page, so this is down at the bottom, you can also click on the heading of the complete list of price changes for all brands. We have everything here. So for example, new Chevys are up 39.1%. Used Chevys are up 28.9, call it 29%.
I would call it 29, yeah.
We have the full list here. And then down below that, again, the data from Four Eyes right here, you can actually see, so this is for the market as a whole with the year over year percent changes. But I'm going to scroll down a little bit further, Pops. You can actually then break it down by trucks, vans, SUVs, and cars. And you can actually choose the brand right here. So let's look at Chevy for a second here.
Okay.
And again, this is back at joinyaa.com/guides. Take a peek. It's 100% free. We're just trying to get the right information in people's hands. So now everything we're looking at is for Chevy.
Wow.
So SUV prices, new. These are new prices. SUV prices, new Chevy SUVs, up 53%.
Does that have something to do with the fact that the new Suburban came out?
I think it does, because look at this, Dad.
Yeah.
The average price is 0.6% off of MSRP. There were some on here that were actually negative when I was looking at it.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. The average Chevy van price right now, you see that? Negative 5.2% off of MSRP.
That means you have to pay 5.2% over MSRP?
Exactly.
Wow.
Month over month, that's up 4.5%. Week over week, 1.7. I mean, this data is awesome. You can actually see car prices.
That's some phenomenal information.
Can we get a quick
yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
It's really good. It's really compelling info.
No, it is. And the fact that you were able to aggregate it and put it into a easy to read and easy to use format on our website. And I'm just guessing, you correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have to pay to be able to access that?
No, that's all free. I'm sure to put the link in the chat real quick. And
Free?
Again,
That is information like that is free. There's no charge. Oh my God.
All right, so let's keep working our way through that, because again, we had the top three manufacturers, automakers, who have seen the biggest increase year over year in price change: Chevy, Jeep, Dodge, then Nissan at 29.9%, Buick at 26.2%, Cadillac and GMC both at 24, nearly 25%, Chrysler at 24%, Kia at 23.7%, and Mitsubishi rounding out the top 10 at 23.5%. That was new cars. Right?
Okay, so I'm not real good at this, but that would appear that includes all of the General Motors products.
Which, if you looked at the data that we presented yesterday, which was, we were breaking down, state by state and by manufacturer as well. Again, that's free back on joinya.com/guides. We have, we saw that like the percentages of vehicles lost in production were much higher. Inventory levels were much lower for GM products. So it makes sense that their prices have gone up the most. But if you're deal seeking, this is a good like kind of barometer pressure test. A brand that's not on here, Mazda, for example.
Ford's not on there.
Toyota, etc.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's look at those that have increased the least, Dad.
Yes, and it's led by one of my favorite cars to drive, not necessarily one of my favorite cars to own, but one of my favorite cars to drive, the Mini, where they have had their pricing has remained, or selling prices have remained essentially flat, and which I find hard to believe considering the fact that nobody has any inventory. I mean,
so
literally.
Look at this, Pops. I'm going to scroll back down.
Yeah.
If you're watching, if you're listening on the podcast after the fact, sorry.
Zach's scrolling. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose Mini. Let's take a look at the data.
Yeah.
Because we're all about the data here.
We are.
So look at this. We've got, mini SUVs, for example.
And they are really mini SUVs, not big ones. They're little ones.
The year-over-year price change is 1/10 of a point. We can kind of come back here and we can see in October of last year. I mean, this is where the pricing was.
Wow.
For the cars, the year-over-year price change is 2.6%. You can come back here. You can see it's like very minimal. And so, you can piece together what was going on. And you can also see for Mini, for example, there was a huge decline in price for the quote-unquote mini SUVs earlier this year.
Yes. Yeah, I wonder why that was.
Let's look back up here at our list, though, Pops. Let's keep making our way through it. So Mini had a 0% change year over year. Mercedes-Benz, 0.2 of a point. Lexus, 0.5%. That rounds out your top three in terms of year-over-year percentage change in new car prices. Lincoln, 2.4%. Audi, 3.1%. Ram, 4.1%. BMW, 4.7%. Fiat, 5%, Acura, 5.5%, and Subaru. I was surprised to see Subaru here, but just a 6% increase in Subaru prices year over year.
Yeah, that is surprising considering that as a mass market brand, they are operating with the lowest day supply of inventory nationally of any brand. And for them to remain really competitively priced, that's a testament to their dealer body saying, hey, we've got a good product, we've got a good customer base, and we don't want to destroy either.
I see a comment here, Dad, in the chat. It is, I'm surprised Infiniti is not on the list for least price change. It is on the used side. Let's jump into that next. So on the used side, Pops, we've had price changes for the greatest price changes actually for Volkswagen. So a used Volkswagen this time a year ago was 34.4% less expensive than it is today. Hyundai's 31.5% year over year price change, used Hyundai's. Toyota's 31.1% for used Toyotas. I mean, I'm going to scroll back down, Pops. Look at this stinking chart for Toyotas. It is insane. Let's get rid of Mini. Let's choose Toyota. Let's hit apply. I mean, this is ludicrous what we're about to see.
Ludacris is appearing on the show today. My God, I had no idea. Why don't you tell me this stuff?
Look at this price chart.
Ludacris right there.
The average used Toyota last year in May was $22,084. The average used Toyota right now is $31,845.
It seems to me that the average
There's
cars
not a big enough bowl to make that much poop.
Well, there you have it. But I wouldn't have said that. I would have said it appears to me that the average price of cars is just, too damn high. The price of cars is too damn high, whether they be new or used.
We've got Lincoln at 30.6% year over year, Kia at 30.6% an increase year over year, Dodge at nearly 30%, Chevrolet 28.9%, Cadillac 28%, used Fords up 26.7%, and used Nissans up 24.7%. Want to see who had the smallest increases?
Yes, and then I think we should move on to the next topic because even I'm getting bored with this stuff.
Jaguar, 5% year-over-year percent change, Mazda 11.6%, and there is Infiniti at 13%, BMW 13.5%, Land Rover 14%, Audi 15%, Alfa Romeo Mitsubishi at 16%, which is surprising because the Mitsubishi Mirage has appreciated 50% year-over-year.
Yes.
Lexus at 16.3%, and Chrysler at 17.9%.
That is some really great data that you were able to put together and aggregate for our community and for those who will go to www.joinyaa.com. And my understanding is you don't even need to use the www.